All right, so the games in Fiji. The most popular one, of course, is rugby. In like every village, there's always a pickup game of rugby being played, like two-hand touch rugby, and that's a pretty fun game. The two-hand touch. I was able to play a few pickup games myself, and mostly with the other missionaries. Not super athletic. I don't know if that surprises you or anything, but yeah, it was pretty great. Everyone was always playing rugby, and the Fiji Sevens rugby team, I think, is arguably one of the best. Better watch out, All Blacks. In Fiji Sevens, they're going to be the new top dogs. The All Blacks are kind of like the Yankees, right, of rugby, but I don't know. The Fiji Sevens, they're coming for you. They're going to be awesome. So beyond rugby, there were numerous other super interesting games, like Suru, where it's a box divided into either 6 or 9 squares, and you'd have two teams. You'd have one team that's stuck on the lines, or one line. So there's a person on the center line, and they can only go, up and down. Then there's people on the horizontal lines, and they can only go side to side. And so that's team 1. Team 2, they're in the boxes, and their goal is to go through and touch every single box, and then go back to or meet up in a central box as well. Or it doesn't have to be central, but a specific box. And the idea is that you make the lines big enough so that you can kind of avoid getting touched. Anyways, so you can avoid being touched, but also not so big that the people on the lines have no chance. It's a pretty inventive game. There's another game where, again, with 2 teams, and you'd build up a tower of cans, and then you'd break them. And team 1 would be chasing down team 2 with a tennis ball or just something, and there'd be a captain of the team. They'd usually have some sort of board as a shield of some sort. Now, if you're able to hit the captain of that team, game over. Or you could just start picking people off one by one. So that was the offensive team. Maybe the defensive team is a better term. And the offensive team was, remember that can of towers I was trying to tell you about? They're trying to build it back up and then jump over it. And that was an incredibly fun game, both to watch and play. And then the other game that comes to mind is, this one, I only played like once, and I was terrible at it, and all the village kids laughed at me. Where they take a tire, and they'd roll it and see how far, or like roll it into each other or something, or roll it and try to get other tires through it, or it was super inventive. And that one I sucked at, so I never really understood, so that's why I'm doing such a poor job of explaining it. And then, of course, there were the indoor games. Didn't really get much chance to play those, but those were the games of Fiji.